Hello and welcome. You are listening to the Fertility in Focus podcast. I'm your host, Christina Burns, doctor of Eastern medicine and holistic fertility expert. In these weekly sessions, I'll be bringing you the best of advice on nutrition, lifestyle, and natural medicine to optimize your fertility. Let's jump into today's episode. Hey everyone, welcome back. I've been MIA. I'm so sorry. I had to skip a few weeks. We were switching over personnel to handle the podcast, and I've missed being here. I've missed the opportunity to educate, and I'm glad to get back to it and bring you some really good new content. So today I want to highlight a daily practice that I believe to be absolutely life-changing and amazing for fertility, amazing for your digestion, amazing for your immune system, amazing for weight loss, and that is consuming apple cider vinegar. And I know you're like, oh God, I heard this from Kelly Clarkson or whoever else, and you see like these apple cider vinegar gummies everywhere and drinks and what have you. I'm going to suggest a very inexpensive, very simple daily practice that will change so many things for you. And we're going to go into the research of why I recommend it. I can tell you from my personal experience of doing this for over 2 years and watching my patients introduce it, like the effects are fairly immediate and so profound in banishing bloat, in weight loss, in immunity. Like I never get sick anymore since I started doing this. Energy is better, digestion, bowel movements, everything. It's just really amazing. You're probably like, what does this have to do with fertility? It has a lot to do with fertility because inflammation, often rooted in the gut, will affect egg quality, will affect implantation. If you don't digest well or have regular poops, you are building up estrogen in your body. You're building up toxicity, more inflammation. It's bad for, poor digestion is bad for estrogen dominant conditions like fibroids, adenomyosis, endometriosis, PCOS. Cleansing your gut lowers inflammation, balances these conditions. And for those of you that are carrying a little extra weight, this practice can help you get that off, which can be incredible for your fertility and your overall hormonal balance, not to mention, self-worth and, just overall feeling comfortable in your body. But, it's not a wives' tale. Apple cider vinegar is literally magic. It's so inexpensive. I will tell you, I find it absolutely disgusting, the drink that I'm going to suggest that you do. But the benefits far outweigh the face you're going to make for the 2 seconds while you're consuming it. So let's break down the benefits because I could just rant and rave. Okay. So I mentioned it in my initial rant, but it beats the belly bloat. You'll notice a difference very, very quickly if you tend to be a bloated person. Apple cider vinegar helps to boost stomach acid, which can be beneficial for those of you who don't make enough to properly digest things. Because oftentimes we're underproducing acid and then the food doesn't break down properly and get digested. And then you have fermentation of the food causing a lot of bloating and discomfort and just making you look bloated. So the apple cider vinegar, having it before meals can help with digestion and you'll experience less bloating. It also supplies pre and probiotics, naturally occurring ones. It's a fermented substance. And so it's giving you, these naturally occurring prebiotics, probiotics. It also has the effect of killing bad bacteria and fungus in the gut. And when you bring down the levels of bad bacteria and fungus in the gut and you bring up the levels of the good bacteria, you have a better balance of your overall immune system and your digestion. I also mentioned that it supports, better digestion overall. So you need a good amount of the stomach acid. It helps with that. It also helps you with gas, nausea, and is treatment for reflux. You wouldn't think a sour substance like that would be, but it actually is. It lowers the inflammation really substantially. Not only that, but it also gets rid of gingivitis. Like whenever I floss now, since I've been doing apple cider vinegar, my gums don't bleed anymore. And gingivitis, by the way, inflammation of your gums, is associated with infertility. That is a podcast for another day, but your oral hygiene makes a huge difference. And when you balance your gut, your oral hygiene is often improved. And so the apple cider vinegar gets rid of this inflammation in your mouth and in your digestive system, basically like all the way down. And it helps to regulate bowel movements, especially if you're constipated. I also mentioned this, but it fights fungus and bacteria. It really does have pretty significant effect in this. So, and there was a study that found that apple cider vinegar had promising antimicrobial effects against E. coli and Candida albicans. And these can be really a huge effect on fertility. In fact, I think Candida albicans, which is a fungal overgrowth in your system, plays a significant role in things like endometritis. And a lot of the time, the doctors are treating endometritis with antibiotics and not an antifungal. And so they end up doing a long course of antibiotics and it doesn't take care of it and it keeps coming back. I usually recommend people go on an anti-yeast diet and take lemon and apple cider vinegar, and that usually does the trick. Apple cider vinegar also boosts nutrient absorption and absorption of calcium and other minerals. An animal study found that dietary apple cider vinegar intake boosted intestinal calcium absorption due to the acetic acid content. The acetic acid is also what is helping with the fat metabolism, but we will get to that. Because it helps with fungal overgrowth, it can also help with yeast infections. So I do recommend, regular use to avoid having any kind of infections throughout the GI tract and the reproductive. Raw apple cider vinegar helps reduce body fat and therefore removes toxins built up in those fat cells. Did you know that our body is so intelligent that it hides toxins in fat cells? And so, basically the more fat you have on your body, the more toxins are hiding, although the body also hides toxins in organs, which, apple cider vinegar and other substances, oftentimes herbs, can help to get those toxins out. Not for nothing, exercise is also a great way to detoxify the body. Apple cider vinegar alkalizes your body. So if you have a more acidic body, or because you eat meat and are very stressed and don't have a healthy diet, the acetic acid, again, the main component in apple cider vinegar, helps to alkalize the body. Now, why is that important? In an acidic environment, you have more microbes grow. So those bad bacteria, that fungus, cancer cells, by the way, will grow more in an acidic environment. So the apple cider vinegar and the alkalizing effect are very, very important. It also helps with your immune system to repair tissues in the body and of course, healing your intestinal wall. And here's the one that you're probably very excited about. Supports a healthy weight. So it's important to maintain a healthy weight because being underweight or being overweight is not great for fertility. Being overweight, you're usually having like an excess of insulin and maybe higher blood sugar levels, and that can impact implantation. It can impact egg quality. It can impact ovulation in cases like PCOS. And so you don't want to have too much fat. You also don't want to be underweight, because then you're not producing enough hormones. Basically, your reproductive system shuts off. You basically have it shut off if you're underweight or overweight. And so with apple cider vinegar aiding with nutrient digestion, you actually end up taking more nutrition out of your food. So if you're underweight, you're getting the nutrition from your food better. And if you're overweight, you're metabolizing fats and carbohydrates and sugars better so that they don't stick to your body. Apple cider vinegar has been found to reduce digestive inflammation. It can treat anything from constipation to diarrhea and reduce systemic inflammation overall. And it has been shown in a study to do that in cases of irritable bowel syndrome. So there you have it, folks. I will say, a lot of the time you think that, something has to be like strictly about fertility, goes straight to your egg quality, goes straight to implantation, but it doesn't really work that way. It's generally that you treat, the whole body or the issues within the body, and then your fertility improves. If you treat the inflammation, bring the inflammation down. If you treat your digestion and absorb nutrients better, if you improve your immune system, if you fight off bad bacteria and fungus, that all creates the environment for better quality eggs and more chance of implantation. So we're doing it via a holistic method, which is really the point of all of this. See you next time. I'm really happy you've tuned in and joined the community, and I'm so excited to bring you more helpful content with each episode. In order to make this podcast as helpful as possible, I want to hear your input on what questions you need answered to get you feeling empowered on your fertility journey. You can DM me on Instagram at @Naturna_life or @naturallycb to share your most important fertility related questions. And if you're enjoying this podcast, please follow and share with friends. My mission is to help as many women and couples as possible. And for that, I need your help. Yours, as always, in love and light, Dr. Christina.